I think we're live. Okay, yeah, I think we're live. Mic check 1 2. It is a late night live on a Sunday night, but I'm coming to the Y2K crew live because there's just a bit of information that I think you all need to know. And I normally don't make like do this now type of videos. Um, but this is something that I've been meaning to make a video about for a couple of days, and I just haven't had the chance to do it, but I figured I'd do it now. Charles, what's going on, man? Yeah, just wanted to make a quick PSA for you guys because I think that this is something that's important for a lot of people. Um, this is a do this now type of announcement that I think is going to put money in the pockets of everyone who takes action today. Um, I'm a big proponent of pushing you guys to make money more so than spend money. What's going on, Scott? How you doing, man? Yeah, I just wanted to jump on here and make a quick announcement for those of you who follow the channel because I think that this is really important, and this information is probably going to go over a lot of people's heads, and they're probably just gonna probably just gloss over it and not really take any action. Or you're playing Pokemon Emerald. Nice. 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 Yeah, so this is just a piece of information that I think is going to go over a lot of people's heads. I don't think a lot of people are really going to take it seriously. This isn't new information necessarily, but I think it's something that is pertinent to um, the folks who watch my channel. Andres, what's going on? I personally just want to beef up my collection, so heads up. So heads up do help. Hey man, that's why I'm here. I try to let you guys know what's going on. But again, what I'm about to talk about is something that's really meant to put money in the pockets of everyone who's watching. It's meant to put money in the pockets of everyone who has watched my channel for some time. Hopefully, um, me bringing more awareness around this helps someone. Sydney Glow, what's going on? Thought this was one of those sell your BTC now lives. Read my comment about building. Yeah, no, I'm not. This isn't one of those like buy this now. You need to go buy a bunch of video games right now. That's not what this is about. It's definitely not. It's actually the opposite. This is really meant to put money into your pockets. And I think that what I'm about to talk about will put money in the pockets of anyone who decides to take action today. And, you know, I don't want anyone to miss out, because this is something that everyone can do. It's something that everyone who follows my channel can do. So many of you leave such insightful comments on my videos, and I know a lot of you follow other content creators as well. Um, and I just wanted to kind of give a minute for a few more folks to get in before I kind of say what I want to say, and then I'll let you all go to bed because I know it's late. It's not super late here in California. It's only about 9 o'clock, but I know if you're on the East Coast, it's like after midnight there for you. Um, Games from the Grave, what's going on? I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it so much. So what is it? That's funny. Scott Free Incredible Hulk on PS3 has jumped in price over the last 3 days. I bet. I bet. But I'm not here to talk about PS3 or price inflation. I'm really here to talk to you guys about one thing, and it's this, right? I think we got enough people in here. So back in 2020, I remember when I first launched my channel, and I never intended for it to grow to what it's become. I didn't, it's really been like a daily vlog for me. But over the past few years, the channel has grown and I've been able to monetize it. And without realizing it, that YouTube income has been pretty convenient for me. It helps me build my collection, it helps me do other things. Well, YouTube just announced that in order for you to monetize your channel, you're basically going to have to do double the work that it takes for a new content creator to become monetized. That's what YouTube is now saying. YouTube is saying that you have to do double the work, essentially. You have to produce double the results to be able to monetize your channel. And the reason why I'm saying that this is information that can put money in the pockets of anyone watching this right now is because everyone who's watching me right now, you all have the ability to start a YouTube channel tonight around something you love so much, like video games, retro games, whatever it is you're passionate about. You have the ability to go and start a channel today, and you have pretty much from now to I think the rest of the year to try and meet the original YouTube requirements for monetization. What are those requirements? Those requirements are you have to have 1,000 subscribers and you have to have 4,000 watch hours in within like a 6 month period, I think. And I just think that all of you guys who are in this hobby, who have collections, who collect and do this on a regular basis, I think you all have the ability to do it. And this is something that not only will put money in your pockets, but it'll actually help you grow your collection. You know, even if you get $500 a month from YouTube or $1,000 a month from YouTube, that's $1,000 that could go towards building your retro collection and or your video game collection, or maybe it's not a collection. Maybe you need a car, maybe you need to go whatever it is. But YouTube is gonna make it more difficult. And I think that just this information, I want to share it with my channel just because I know being on YouTube has done a lot for me. It's been a great way for me to connect with a lot of great folks within the community, um, and kind of just share my collecting journey from start to finish, from when I had a big collection to when I sold my entire collection, from being on the East Coast and living in New York to moving to the West Coast and now being in Southern California. And a lot of you guys have been with me on this journey since day one. And you've seen all the phases of my collection, you know, throughout the different stages. And being able to make a little bit of revenue off of just doing something that I probably would have done for free is pretty cool. Um, in my particular case, when it comes to YouTube, I've tried at least 10 times to spruce up the editing for my content. I've tried over 10 times to revolutionize my delivery. But because of just work and family and kids and just everything that I do outside of YouTube, I've just never been able to dedicate the time it takes to build that. And even this past summer, I tried outsourcing that. And it's just kind of hard to find good help in the content creation space. Um, it's just kind of hard, you know what I mean? So that's been a challenge. But for the most part, I've done very raw content. Like my content is super raw, like very like no editing, and a lot of it's just me kind of sharing my thoughts. And I never thought that I would have been able to carve out a space on YouTube just being raw and unfiltered and unedited. And I didn't think it would grow, but it's grown. You know, there's a part of the YouTube universe that can appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure that there's a part of the YouTube universe that will appreciate what you have to bring. You all have your own individual perspectives. Some of you like retro, some of you don't. Some of you think modern is the way to go. Some of you believe in repro carts, some of you don't. Some of you like RPGs, some of you like shoot 'em ups. I mean, whatever your perspective is, you know, there's a place for it on YouTube. And so I would highly encourage anyone who has ever thought about um, you know, starting a YouTube channel, doing YouTube, I strongly encourage it. Um, what's going on, Human Life? What's going on, man? Young Laces, can you explain the importance of doing long form or shorts? I'll be honest with you, I've done both. I don't do a ton of shorts. I honestly do shorts when I just want to tell you guys something real quick. I don't make content trying to like get into the algorithm. I don't do things to try to like everything that I do is just really as a way of communicating with the channel. There's really no strategy if you haven't been able to tell. There's really no strategy to my approach to YouTube. It's all very raw, unpolished. Every video that I've ever made on this channel has been made through iMovie, which is a free application on almost every Apple device these days. iMovie comes on almost every laptop, tablet, phone. I'm not in like Adobe Premiere. I'm not doing anything like that. It's all very raw. Space Ghost said, I really enjoy the unedited content you make. It's like classic YouTube and fits the niche we're in. Sydney Glow says, I prefer long form, so my YouTube premium pays you by default, if that's still a thing. I mean, I think you can make good money doing either or. Like if, some people are really good at the short form content, they've kind of mastered it and they're able to do well. Some people are excellent at long form. I've always pretty much done long form. So, and my channel is really kind of like for those of you, if you've been around from like day one, like man, for my day one folks, like how my channel used to be. I used to come in with like this whole ASMR type of, late night jazz radio host type deal. That's how I used to start my videos. I used to come in with the okay, mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector. I used to come in with all that, and I kind of just dialed it back, and it was just, these days I don't even hit you guys with the mic check 1 2. I just kind of dive into whatever it is I have to talk about, and I just kind of go from there. So, like I said, I didn't really want it to be a super long video. I just wanted to tell you guys that for any of you who watch the channel, definitely get out there, make a YouTube channel, and see where it goes. I do intend to launch a second channel. Um, I do want to do a reaction channel. It's something that I've been thinking about for quite some time. And so I think that I might launch a like a Y2K reactions channel where I react to other content. I've never done that before, but I've always wanted to because a lot of times I'll watch stuff on YouTube and I'll just have like an opinion on stuff. And I know everybody has their opinion, but I've really been thinking about launching like a Y2K reactions channel. So that's something that may come. Um, and I think that I think we could have a lot of fun with that, to be honest with you. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Um, let's see. Skur, what's going on? He said PS3 FOMO is getting crazy. PS3 FOMO is crazy right now. It's out of control. Um, it's just one of those things that like, I don't know how long it's gonna last. If I had to guess on when the PS3 FOMO will die out, if it doesn't burn out by like the holiday time, maybe by the spring it'll burn out. It's just there's really nothing else like hot right now. Like there's really like, Pokemon is always hot. People are on that. But there's nothing like really super hot from a physical standpoint that's like really grabbing people's attention. And I think sometimes the collecting community, they just want something to get excited about. And because like so many other things have been talked about to death, like people are over hearing about GameCube games. The Super NES has been done to death. The PlayStation 2 has been talked about at nauseum. So many of these consoles have just been talked about that I think, when Sony came out with that announcement, it was just one more thing for like physical collectors to get really excited about. And so I think that's why you're seeing prices for games that I don't want to say were practically worthless, but were pretty much forgotten about, no one cared about. That's why now all of a sudden you're seeing so many people go after these games, and it's just kind of crazy. Games from the grave. YouTube has moved the goalpost. I wish they had a viable competitor. Best of luck to anyone who's trying to make it or almost making it. Yeah, YouTube out here crushing dreams. Also, the switch to Oblivion and Indiana Jones getting scalped as well. Hey, I just want to say, Skur, I think it was you who commented on one of my videos, letting me know about the Blasphemous Martyr edition that's being released. Super, thank you for that, man. I did not know that that was coming out, and you really put me on with that one because I've been trying to get my hands on a physical copy of Blasphemous for a while now, and I knew that they came out with 3 reprints. I know they had the original limited run. Then I think they released a version in Europe. Then Team 17 released the deluxe edition that we thought had all the DLC on it, but I guess it didn't because now the Martyr edition uh is uh is gonna have like even more DLC. So, oh Scott, was that you? Did you post it? Someone posted it. It was either you Scott Skur or Scott. One of you guys posted it. Good looking out because I really want to get my hands on a physical copy of Blasphemous, and I was not gonna pay out the wazoo for it. So that's good. I'm looking forward to that release. I think when does it release? Do you guys know when it releases? Is it this month or is it next month? Because the only place that I saw that I could pre-order it, I think was Best Buy when I looked online. But that is, oh, it's October. Okay. So yeah, so that is yeah, good looking out. And I appreciate when you guys, because I used to be on top of that, especially for the Switch. When I was collecting for the Switch, I used to know when everything was coming out and I just fell off the Switch. So when you guys let me know about that stuff, that's huge because then I can go and like get my pre-order in. Um, but yeah, no, I appreciate that. There's a few Switch games that I really want to get back. And the reason why I'm super hesitant to like pay aftermarket for Switch games is because we're still in the Switch life cycle. So at any point, these games could get a reprint at any point. Like right now, oh, there's a Truxton remake? What? Oh, I gotta go check that out. I didn't know there was a Truxton remake. Is it kind of like what they did with like what's that game? Like Wings of War and Clay Lancer? Remember when they came out with that double pack? It was like Wings of War and Clay Lancer that they did. I think Limited Run did it. If it's like that, then, or is it like a full-on remake? Because they're remaking all the shooters. Like I know they did it with R-Type Delta. I know they did it with like Wings of War. They did it with so many of them, but Truxton is a good one. Oh, it's a 3D remake. I might have to check that out then. That one I might have to check. I might have to check that out because I'm a big shoot 'em up fan. Um, Scott, I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys let me know when you see stuff like that. Just drop it in the comments, and that lets me know. There's 2 Switch games that I really want that were released by Super Rare that I would love to get my hands on, but I don't know if Super Rare is going to release them again. One is Haiku, the something robot, or it's like a 8-bit like monochromatic game with like a yellow with a yellow color base. Haiku is one, and then Inmost is the other one that I want to get my hands on. That too is like a 8-bit monochromatic game with like a teal type of blue color scheme. Those are the 2 Switch games that I really want to get my hands on again, but I just haven't had a chance to. Scary Swim says it's not really PS3 FOMO. People are also buying to get the best mint copies left to avoid possible disc errors or rot. A lot of what's left are really scratch games. This is true, which I guess I might as well just show you guys this since we're talking about it. So during the week, I had gone and I had found a copy of Pokemon Black 2 at GameStop for like 97 bucks. And then I found a copy of the Don's Edition, Godfather the Don's Edition for like 55 bucks. And then I had a couple other games to trade in. And so I took those games into a local game store and I just basically flipped them for trade credit. And this is what I got. So Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I've been trying to get my hands on this for a while on the N64. So I finally got it loose. Would have loved to get it complete, but I'll take this one loose. Got a really good deal on it today. This was a GameStop pickup, Kirby Superstar. I had this, I didn't realize this had bounced up to like 80 some, sorry, 70, somewhere between 70 and 75 bucks. I didn't realize that this had gone up that much. So this was one that I added in. Kirby Squeak Squad. Been trying to get all my DS Kirby games back. I had them all in my old DS collection. I've only been able to get, I forget some of the other ones. I'm drawing a blank, probably because it's late, but was able to add Kirby Squeak Squad again. Then Gunbird 2, for those who were around when I had my full Dreamcast collection. Gunbird 2 was one of my favorite shoot 'em ups on the Dreamcast. And I had all of them. I had like Giga Wing, I had Giga Wing 2, Mars Matrix, you name it. Like all the good shoot 'em ups, I had them. Gunbird 2 was definitely top two. I would have to say the two shoot 'em ups I played the most on the Dreamcast were Gunbird 2 and Mars Matrix. Probably Mars Matrix is my favorite shoot 'em up on the Dreamcast because it's just really good. Mars Matrix is really good, but Gunbird 2 is like a close second. It's like 1A, 1B. These are two awesome shoot 'em ups. I think it's the music and the graphics and just that genuine arcade feel that you get out of this game that I really, really, really enjoy. So Gunbird 2, I was really glad to get this one back today. Really good condition as well. And then that leads us to the final one, the PlayStation 3. So we're kind of in that weird space with the PlayStation 3 where so many games are moving in value at the same time that it's hard for game stores to keep up. And it's even just hard for collectors to keep up. So like as a collector, if you're someone who's collecting for the PlayStation 3, it's a really weird time because you might want to go buy a game that in your mind is only like 10 or 15 bucks, but the person selling it to you might feel like the price is going up and they might price it for where it's going and not where it's at. So you might want to go and buy like a $20 PS3 game, but then when you get to the store, they're charging you like 40 or 45 because they feel like that's where the game is going to go. Or on the flip side, you have some games that have moved so fast that the retro game stores aren't haven't kept up, so you could still get them at a good price. So I needed to kind of burn some trade credit, and the store that I did made this trade at, they gave me God of War Origins collection for 26 bucks. Now, that's a good deal. I think that's like a good deal. I feel like that was a good deal even 6 months ago before all the PlayStation 3 madness. I think 26 bucks for God of War Origins collections was a good price. But it just so happened that when I went to go and put this into Game Eye has this at 71 or $73, I think, for this game. I didn't realize this game had bounced like that. Um, I didn't realize that well, no, I take that back. I knew that the price had shifted, but I didn't realize the shift had stuck so long that it had actually moved in Game Eye or in price charting. But then when you go on like eBay, obviously you see people trying to push copies of this game for like 100. And when you check solds, I have seen that people have bought this game for like 85 bucks, like 120 bucks, which is wild. Like that's wild to me that people have spent that much on God of War Origins collection, but it is what it is, right? It's the PS3 tax that's upon us. And but this copy was really clean. Like I'm not even, like it was a clean copy. Like the manual is really clean. This was a pretty clean copy. And to be honest with you, I have another copy of this coming in the mail because there was a copy that I found on GameStop's website. And I was like, ah, what the heck? I think they had it for like 26 bucks. So I was like, I'll just order it and see what condition it comes in. But this is cool because even if it comes in like a horrible condition, then I'll just return it and I already have a copy. If it is in good condition, well, now I have another game that I can use as trade bait. But that was really cool to see. Let me catch up on some of these comments. I have to get back to classwork. Have a good night, Y2K. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Sydney Glow. You have a good night, sir. Um, do well in school. Let's see what we got. Scott Free. You would love Iron Meat from Super Rare. It's like a gory Contra game. I heard about that game when it first came out. Everybody was talking about Iron Meat, and I just never got it. Because I like when I walked away from the Switch, I really walked away from the Switch, and I was really mad when I walked away from the Switch because it was like when I walked away, there were so many amazing remakes. Like They brought Radiant Silver Gun to the Switch. They brought bots. I think they brought Batsu Gun to the Switch. They brought Gargoyles, and the Dominus collection came out, and the Rocket Knight collection came out, and there was just so many great. And I was just so tempted. I was like, man, I want to go get all these games, and I was like, I can't. I got to be disciplined. I can't go get these games. And I was just seeing all these like limited run and super rare games, and I just had to I had to be disciplined and stay locked in because my goal was to rebuild my retro collection first. I said, let me get all these retro games, and once I get all my retro games back, then I'll go back to the Switch. And to be honest with you guys, you won't believe it, but in 6 months, I've rebuilt about 60% of my collection. It's crazy, but I have. Like, in 60% of it's back. So I will be returning to the Switch soon. And when I do, oh, it'll be hell to pay. But for now, I have to stay disciplined. I'm sticking to just the retro. Um, Mystic Parks, what's going on, man? How you doing? You got rid of NFL Blitz? I did not. I didn't have it. I think I showed NFL Blitz. You think you're saying Blitz the League? Yeah, I have it. It's just I put it away. Space Ghost Pop says, you had all the Dreamcast hits. So glad you got this one again. Yeah, I did, man. I was looking at one of my old videos. Man, I had Tech Romancer. I had the Power Stone games. I had Capcom 1 and 2. If I think about like the rare obscure ones, so I had like Egg, like Elemental Gimmick Gear. That's like a rare one. Heavy Metal Geomatrix is not super rare, but it's not super expensive, but it's more on the rarer side. I had, I think I said Techromancer already. Bangai-O, I had that. I had Spawn in the Demon's Hand. I think that's what it is. Or was it Spawn Armageddon? No, I think it's in the Demon's Hand. I had Spawn in the Demon's Hand. Project Justice. Cannon Spike. I have cannons. I got cannon. The 4 Dreamcast games that I've gotten back are Berserk. I got Mars Matrix, Gunbird 2 now, and I can't remember the fourth one. Can't remember the fourth one, but I had a really good Dreamcast collection and a really good PlayStation 1. My PS1 and Dreamcast collections were like, man, I'm bummed. Like I had Jackie Chan Stunt Master. I had whatever you could think of like on the PlayStation 1 that's like top tier. I had it. Same thing with Dreamcast. Same thing with Sega Saturn. But it's all good though. This is part of the journey. You know, it's been good. It's been good to find these games again. And because like of the where I'm at, like I've been a lot more frugal and I've actually been able to find them a lot cheaper like than what I originally paid for them. Also, there are many seal collectors who are buying them up and grading it to make more profit. Yeah, if you're talking about Switch, I could definitely see that. They're definitely doing that out there. Some unsuspected investor may invest 1 million on common seal games. Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but did you guys hear about that store? There's like a game store that found like some rare variant of Mario and Duck Hunt, which were pack-in cartridges. So I guess they were supposed like pack-in variants that were supposed to have been packed in with Nintendo consoles. And for whatever reason, these pack-in variant copies of Mario and Duck Hunt were removed from the console boxes and just stored away. And so some video game guy, I think somewhere in the Midwest or something like that, they uncovered them, and they're so extremely rare that they're trying to figure out what they're worth. And of course, they had 3 graded, and one of the ones that's been graded, I think, is now listed with Golden Auctions. And if you guys don't know about Golden Auctions, he's the guy. He's got a Netflix series. They're basically like an auction house. And I think they took one of those copies and had them sent over to Golden, and I don't know where it's at now. But I think spending $1 million on, like, if I had $1 million, I probably wouldn't buy a video game unless I had like millions of other dollars invested in other like tangible assets like real estate, gold, silver, stuff like that. If I just had $1 million to play with, like if I was so rich, I was like, man, I want to take a million and just burn it somewhere, then maybe. But Mario, I don't know. I don't know. That just doesn't sound smart. But you do have people out there who are that wealthy, who do have that much money, and quite literally have $1 million to burn. Unfortunately, that's not me. Um, Let me see. Young Lay says, I got a solid sealed game collection. Yeah, hang on to it, man. Hang on to it. Um, Sealed NBA Jam Sega. Wow. That's a classic. I'm not gonna lie. Black and Tell, that's pretty rare. Games from the Grave says, cool stream, catch you around. Good night. Hey, have a good one, man. Sleep tight. Don't let me hold you guys, man. If you guys got something else to do, or you guys want to go to bed, I get it. I said what I had to say. Right now, I think we're just chilling on a Sunday night, really. Let me see here. Black and Tell says Nintendo Switch modded cell phone. That is funny. You guys mod a cell phone? I've never heard of a modded cell phone. How would you mod your cell phone for gaming? I'm really curious about that. I'm really curious about that. Do you have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for Dreamcast? I don't. I have to get it back. I only have it on the PlayStation 2. Which surprisingly enough, so I remember when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 first came out in the arcade. This is back when guys used to go to the arcade and play it. Like you had to put in a quarter and play it. And this had to have been, man, yeah, this was like in the late 90s because we used to go to the arcade. Like we first started off playing X-Men versus Street Fighter. So for those of you who know, you know, it went from X-Men versus Street Fighter. Actually, if I go back, it was X-Men Children of the Atom. That was where I first learned how to do air combos, I think, in that game. And I learned them with Spider-Man. And with Spider-Man, to get him in the air, you had to do light kick, medium kick, and then you had to do Spider-Man's backflip kick to get him in the air. And that was where I learned air combos, was in I think it was Children of the Atom. Or yeah, whichever one it was that had the gems. That's the one where you could get the power gems, right? And then I remember went to X-Men versus Street Fighter. Then it went to Street Fighter versus Marvel, or Marvel versus Street Fighter. And then we were playing Marvel versus Capcom. So when Marvel versus Capcom first came out, that was really where you got to like go in on air combos because you got the little special helper that would come in. I would always choose Colossus. Back then when you could only choose Colossus as a special helper. And I remember too, to get Colossus during the stage select screen, you had to hold medium kick and medium punch on the arcade to get Colossus. Oh no, I think it was medium kick, medium punch, and heavy punch to get Colossus. And and I remember I would use him for anti-air for, that's guys who would try to, you know, attack me from above. He was great for protecting against anti-air, but you only got five of them. And then I remember when Capcom 2 came out, and man, Capcom 2 felt like when it first came out, it took like a while. Like if you played Marvel vs. Capcom 1 for like years, and then when Capcom 2 came out, you really had to get the pacing because Capcom 2 felt a lot faster than Capcom. Maybe it was just me, but it felt so much faster than Marvel vs. Capcom 1. And then the character selection was just crazy. I mean, there were just so many characters you could choose from. And then, of course, everybody found out that Iceman couldn't take damage from most attacks. So, he was the instant cheese character. Cable, you could do the infinite supers with the Hyper Viper beam. So, of course, he became a very cheesable character. But I found that people who use characters like Omega Red, those guys were difficult to fight. Me personally, I won competitions using Amingo. Believe it or not, I know a lot of you guys are like Amingo. Yeah, Amingo. I will kick your ass with Amingo. Like I was really good. Amingo, my team used to be Amingo, Psylocke, and I can't remember who the third person was, but I was doing damage with Psylocke. Sometimes I would use Gambit if I was just horsing around, but yeah, I was doing damage in Capcom too. And so I'm just answering your question. I need to get the Dreamcast port back because in high school, we had a school-wide tournament in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I won that school-wide tournament using Psylocke, Amingo, and I I can't remember who I used. I can't remember who the third person was. So long ago, but I need to get my Dreamcast version back. I've played it on PlayStation 2. It's funny because after high school, while I was in undergrad, I had an apartment in the Midwest and I had a PlayStation 2 while I was in undergrad. And I played it on the PlayStation 2 versus the Dreamcast just because, I don't know, college, just PlayStation 2 felt more right. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but I don't know. Dot five says, I saw you pick up Jet Force Gemini in the last vid. Love that game. It's the Halo one of N64. So like games like that are tough because the frame rates on the N64 are so bad that I can only stomach games like that for so long before I'm like, all right, I got to turn this off. So we'll see how far I get with it. Young Lay, Milwaukee. Oh, Milwaukee. Yeah, that was where it was. It was in Milwaukee where they found those rare Mario and Duck Hunt variant cartridges. That's probably going to be another pump and dump scheme, but we'll see what happens. Scare says, I've seen Pokemon DS games in Nintendo shipping box. They're bringing them out and sell each one for profit sealed in Nintendo shipping box. Is that they're bringing them out and selling each one for profit sealed? Is that Pokemon DS? So you're talking about like Pearl and stuff like that, like Pearl and Black and stuff? I'm interested in that. It got a perfect 10 grade. Yeah, that's right. So see when I see stuff, so all right, so think about that, right? You have this miraculous box of Mario Duck Hunt variants that pop up out of nowhere somewhere in Milwaukee. These are pack-in cartridges that for whatever reason weren't packed in with a console, and there's like 100 of them. Three of them they decide that three of them are going to get sold and one gets graded. It's the only PSA 10 that's ever been given out, and now it's in the hand of Golden Auctions. When I see things like that, I feel it feels fishy to me. I don't know why. It just does. It feels like one of those things where if they get away with this, not if they get away with this, but if like let's say someone goes and buys that PSA 10 variant that was just discovered the other day, I could easily see this thing happening all over the place. Next thing you know, somewhere in New Mexico, someone finds a warehouse stacked with sealed copies of Demon Crest. And now all of a sudden they're getting sent off to PSA and it gets the first, you know, PSA 10 plus plus plus, and now it's in the hands of Golden Auctions being sold off for $2 million. It's just always this like I just and it's not to say that there aren't warehouses or attics or basements out there somewhere across the country with sealed stuff. It's just, I don't know. That one felt a little fishy to me. I'm sure if it is fake, Carl Jobst will make a video about it and we'll all watch. Um, Games from the Grave says, yeah, but that news about Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt is going to cause an influx of people who think loose copies of the games are worth a ton of money coming into my little game store. That is funny. That's true. I didn't even think about that. So think about that. That's true though, right? So think about the person who maybe doesn't want to spend money on a complete in box NES collection, but maybe you have a really, really good collection of loose cart NES games or even loose cart SNES games for that matter. If a PSA 10 loose cart NES game sells for the millions, it's going to establish a whole new it's going to establish a whole new level of hype within the market. So you raise a good point there. They were the last model Mario's created in '94. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, maybe there's something there. Did you know the PS2 Silent Hill 2 Greatest Hits is hunted down more because Maria is only playable in Greatest Hits? That I didn't know. I guess I should have kept my copy. I didn't. I did not know that. The good old days, yeah, man. Buy a cheap brand new phone and throw some ROMs on it. Bluetooth. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. It's true. I do have a 8-bit dough. Has anyone ever used a 8-bit dough with their phone? I'd be interested to know if you have, because that'd be interesting to try out. I've never done that, but that would be interesting to try. No, that wasn't Children of the Atom. Which one was it? I can't remember which one it was. It's whichever one you got the gems, or you could like Marvel superheroes. Okay, that's the one. That's the one. That is the first title that have most of the popular Marvel characters. Now the Arc system worked on their own Marvel token. Yeah. Oh, how do you guys think about Marvel token? What do you guys think about that? Or token? I'm curious about that. I'm interested to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. It looks really, really interesting. But I pretty much fell off the Marvel versus games after Marvel versus Capcom 2. So like once Marvel versus Capcom 3 came out, it was just too different. It was just too different of a game. It felt like a completely different game. It didn't even feel like a continuation of the original series, so I just kind of fell off. Um, oh no, it was faster. Yeah, yeah. Omega Red was that dude, man. My cousin one hit the Gambit glitch. Yeah, look, that Gambit glitch, people would try to fight me over that Gambit glitch. For those of you who don't know, there was a glitch in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Gambit has this move where he does what's it goes? It's like he like bounces off the screen like from side to side. Well, there's a way to do that move to where he bounces off the screen and just flies away. So what I would do is when you throw Gambit's kinetic card, you would take like a smidgen of damage and then just fly away and let the time run out. That would piss people off so much. And I think it's one of the few moves that actually does take damage from Iceman, even if he's blocking. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but people would be ready to fight because it was the funniest glitch in the game. Or like if you were like fighting and you took a like you it was a neck and neck fight and you just took just enough damage to be in the lead against your opponent and then you flew away. It was like hilarious. It was a hilarious glitch. The only thing they kind of changed the way Omega Red controlled in Children of the Atom, yeah, is Pokemon White and Black. Okay, got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. So mad I sold my CIB Pokemon Crystal a few months back. Help me get a Lost Origin booster box though. Ah, so you sold some games for some Pokemon. I mean, you're trading one for the other. Um, hey, I have a Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. Any advice on extending the combos and strings, like chaining moves together? I'll be honest with you, bro. I know nothing about Soul Calibur. Like, that wasn't my game. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know anything about Soul Calibur. Damn, sorry to hear that, but at least you get the Origin booster. Okay, cool. They say them games are supposed to get melted for something. Hmm. Oh, gold? Are those the ones that they say have gold in the motherboard or something like that? Someone did found a stack of PAL Rule of Roses in Italy. However, the seller didn't inflate the price. Yeah, I remember that happened like a year or two ago. Because I remember on one day I was on eBay and I kept seeing like $300 copies of Rule of Rose, but they were all PAL. I was like, okay, this is kind of strange. Um, a storage seller on Whatnot found a unit full of sealed Saturn, PS1, PS3, etc. games that were selling for literal thousands of dollars. I mean, like, look, don't get me wrong. I do believe that it's possible to find like like it happened to me. You guys know, back in like April or May, I was at a GameStop and an older couple was in there trying to sell some N64 games. And when I glanced over the dude's shoulder, he had an entire box of sealed and complete in box N64 games. And in a day, I was able to get roughly a $5,500 collection of video games for around 500 bucks. The only reason why, well, not the only reason why, but one of the biggest reasons why what I paid was so low was because at the time I was on a lunch break and I wasn't sure if the N64 games were real or not. I was just buying them kind of like at a glance. But when I got home and I started examining them, one of the games was a sealed copy of Banjo Kazooie. And it had the H seal, it had the hang tab, and it had the KB, no, it was a K, no, it had a Kmart sticker on it. That thing was legit, legit. And when I looked online, I did see copies in the condition of mine selling for in the thousands. Now I know if I go and get that graded, I could probably get it graded, and if I did, it probably boosted significantly because I've seen graded copies go for like 6,000, 7,000. I just haven't decided if I wanted to do it yet. But I'm saying all that to say that do I think it's possible to find a storage closet full of sealed games or rare games? Yeah, I do. I do, but I just when they migrate straight out of the the storage closet straight into the hands of an auction house, it's kind of like that's where I'm like it seems a little too convenient. Let me see here. Marvel Tokon is basically Guilty Gear Blaze Blue. If you enjoy the Guilty Gear Blaze Blue, then learning token won't be far off. Yeah, then I guess it won't be for me because I'm not super hip to those games. I also couldn't figure out in practice mode in Soul Calibur. Yeah, Soul Calibur, I know nothing about it, man. I'm selling Puppeteer at 500 or 600. Wow. If you sell that, leave a comment under one of my videos. I'd really like to know if someone buys Puppeteer from you for 500 bucks. If someone spends that kind of money, like, that's crazy. For Puppeteer? Come on. There's so many other games that I would spend six. Oh, sorry guys, I got like kicked off the stream. Um, let's see, for about 49 bucks, still copy. Vice City, it's pretty solid. Okay. I got Link to the Past. Hulk on PS3 is selling for 120. That's crazy. Hulk on PS3 is selling for 120. That is nuts. You guys, it's crazy times. What can I say? But I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I know if you're in New York right now, it's probably getting close to 1 o'clock. So if you're in New York, I appreciate you hanging out with me this late. If you're with me out here on the West Coast, I know it's 10 o'clock and you probably got to get ready for work tomorrow. Either way, I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. I got to start doing these more again. But until then, I will catch you guys in the next one. It's the Y2K Collector. You guys take it easy.